Good morning. Right, this is a long video and it ain't that good either, so good luck. Welcome to the making so far of Raccoon Bay. So where did it come from? Well, it all started when I was around about 7 years old. And we first went to Babacombe Model Village, and I always remember we outside the car park there was a grass verge, and we sat on the grass verge waiting to go in, and I had my first ever pot noodle, and then we went into Babacombe Model Village. I remember both. Like, the only way I can describe it was that my future self has invented a time machine and came back to myself as a little 7-year-old boy and whispered into my ear and said, "This is going to be your obsession." Because I just love pot noodles! Now forget pot noodles, we're not talking about pot noodles. This is not anything to do with pot noodles, okay? It's to do with Raccoon Bay, Model Village, how it became my obsession. Forget about pot noodles, yeah? You are going to be obsessed by playing and building model villages. Now I've done it out of Lego, Playmobil, I've done it out of using the little Kinder Egg figures, and also scratch building. Now this is probably my second, definitely my second, because I sold one off completely that I built in the late 90s, and I sold it all off. Ben, Jake and Evans fought, coming along, they bled us dry, bled us dry. Oh Dad, I want food, oh Dad, I need nappies. Babacombe Model Village was the most magical place that I went to as a child. It was just, we went there at least 5 or 6 times as a child, and I took Tina there, I took my kids there. It's a place where I just feel so magical, and you know, I can't really put my finger on it really. It's not like there are better built model villages in the world, but it's just, it's the man's dream. He started, I think it was 65, I think it was, and just the being on holiday, I think, is a big thing. You go on holiday and you have the adventure, and you go, and then the lights at night. Absolutely pure magic. Absolute magic. If you ever get a chance, go. I'd rather go to Disneyland. Let's go a bit more in depth into Raccoon Bay. You'll be alright, don't go out your way for me. Raccoon Bay started many years ago, 43 years ago it started really, and there are bits of stuff that I collected not long after that I've still got, little bits of plastic and things that have just come along with me with my model making for all my years. They're all scratch built. They are images from my head. I don't use any plans or instructions, or completely out of my head. They're places that I've seen and inspiration that I've taken from the real world. I go and ask you to go and look at architecture. Especially in old houses and old sort of towns. some of the roofs, ranges and windows, you might think they're not right, but it's only modern houses that have got any kind of order. Ever heard of Greek and Roman architecture? So the figures are 54 centimetres tall for an average 6-foot gentleman, and the actual the Britons is really the only scale toy that does it. The 135 scale is more of a model scale, but I've stuck to that scale. I like it, and it means that I can adapt toys. So then when you look at the model village in the future, you'll be able to say, I had that figure, or that used to be a cowboy, that is. My first written bits of information that I've got left starts around about when I was 21, so in 1991 is when I started talking about Calicoon Bay and all the different things. And unfortunately I can't find that book, so I will look out for it. So what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Well, it comes down to houses really. When I do the designs, these were done last year in June. Is there any more on that side now? And there's little designs, little ideas where people live. Little shots like houses like that. Just little ideas, names, how they're going to be positioned. Characters come to ideas, shop windows, all come along, and you can see there's just lots and lots of ideas that I have. Books and books and books and books of stuff. See, there's lots of windows still to be done. It's the thing that I find the most boring part to do, and that's why a lot of them haven't got windows yet, because I'm still working on them. But I will get back into gear with this pretty soon actually, I think. See, in a way, this is my virtual reality, if you like. I love that I know who lives in these buildings, I know their story, and I know that some of it's not done on paper, it's only in my head, and I love that actually how the models actually adapt the story and the story adapt the models. So they're both linked so much that actually seeing the one without the other is only half the story. I love building them. It's all out of card and just paint and so forth, and glue, and a bit of polyfiller and a bit of the mud rock stuff. But it's early days and there's so much to do. And as always, I don't know if I'll ever reach the summit, but I enjoy doing it, and I think that's the real thing that really makes a difference. So yeah, oh, what a day. It started off by me loading up my normal vlog, what I do every morning down here, and then I just quickly loaded up from what I've filmed the night before, what I edited the night before, and then put it out there for around about 10 o'clock, half 9, 10 o'clock. for some reason it glitched and glitched and glitched and glitched, and it took me until 1 o'clock. And I thought, it's okay, I'm going to come down now, I'm going to show my models, and I'll just point the camera at me, and I'll talk about the models, and then load it up, and then I'll actually have my haircut, and I'll write one of my little stories. Brilliant. It's made me learn a very good lesson how, it might not be just me, but it might be all of us, but I talk in a way that is impossible to make any sense when you try to put it onto film, because I just flip all over the place. I will be talking about something, then I'll start talking about something completely different, or I'll start talking about something and not introduce it in words, and I had to edit it and edit it and edit it. It basically, I had to do other edits, I had to come back and do some more videos. So I started filming at just after 1, and actually was still filming at 10 o'clock at night. And you'll see the difference in cameras, in light. You'll also, where I threw in some stupid little comments, it was just purely because I just had to somehow fill the gap where I was not talking right. So, very interesting to learn how hard it is to actually do a talk over that hasn't been forced back. That's what I'll do different next time. I will actually have to sit down and you're like, oh yeah Dave, that makes sense. I'll have to write a script, believe it or not. What's ridiculous? I didn't think you would have to do that. But I have to write a script so then I know that I'm hitting all the points. So I won't have to keep them coming back again because I haven't said that or I haven't done that. So yeah, but it was crap as well. But hopefully you see, I've missed out loads. I've got lots more footage to do another one, but I'm not going to put that into the world. So back to normal today. I'm doing some lovely work and doing the thing that is important. I think only 1 or 2 of you have watched yesterday's. If you can get a chance to watch it, because it's the one that I do the lights, and I was really excited about people seeing the lights. But so far, I think we've got 3 people who have watched it. And one of them is YouTube, and one of them is me, and that means that there's probably only 1 of you that's actually watched it. So I think there might be 4, so there might be 2. Anyway, it doesn't matter, you know, like you all know, I'm waffling, it's time to say goodbye. So yes, I'm waffling, so it's time to say goodbye.